Well, hello there. Welcome once more to Kwankyewa's Kitchen. And if this is your first time stopping by, I would like to say a very warm akwaaba to you. Today I'm sharing with you my pasta sauce or marinara sauce recipe. And this is homemade, totally from scratch with the freshest of ingredients, and it's definitely tastier and better than those sold in the stores. I really hope you give this a try. You will love it. So here are the ingredients you will need. I have some red bell peppers, a combination of jalapenos and serrano chilies, my olive oil, garlic, lots and lots of garlic, my fresh basil, onions, tomatoes, some black pepper, and some balsamic vinegar. And these are all the ingredients you need for this amazing pasta sauce. I'm going to oven roast all these ingredients, and so I'm just going to go ahead and cut each and every one of them, transfer into a baking sheet until I'm done cutting everything up, and we'll go ahead and roast. So I'm using a combination of red and yellow or Vidalia onions. You can choose to use whatever combination you like or just one kind of onion. It doesn't make really much of a difference. So as you saw, I'm using a lot of hot chilies. I want my marinara sauce to be on the spicy side because even when I buy the store-bought ones in the jar, I tend to put a lot of pepper in it to get it to the spiciness I want. You could just put one or no pepper at all if you don't want it to be spicy, however much spice you think you can tolerate. And I'm also using the red bell peppers because you know in your marinara sauce you could put any vegetables that you really like. So far as the tomato is what is dominating, you don't want it to be overpowered by anything else. I sometimes put a little bit of carrot, and sometimes I add a little celery. The red bell peppers though helps to bring out some sweetness in your sauce because it is a little bit on the sweeter side, so I don't have to add any sugar to it. Also, the redness is so rich that it helps give you such beautiful color to your sauce that you really don't need to add tomato paste. So I'm using 3 of that just so, you know, I get the best of everything, the sweetness and the beautiful color. And I'm done with the pepper. So I'm cutting up the tomatoes at this point. I'm just going to go ahead and slice all of them into halves. And then after I did that, I'm going to de-seed these tomatoes. So I'm using a spoon to just scoop up the seeds just like that. And I'm throwing it into this bowl because I am also going to strain the juices that are around the seeds to add to the sauce. You know, the vegetables to roast actually. So I'm going to go ahead and finish all this and then we'll move on to the next step. And are these tomatoes not just beautiful? So beautiful, and it was on sale for 98 cents a pound. So I was like, maybe I should just get some and make pasta sauce. Typically, I would use them from my garden when I, you know, had a good garden that was giving me good tomatoes. But not where I live anymore. My tomatoes don't do so good. But I won't give up. I'll still continue. And, you know, if you garden and you get a lot of tomatoes, it's a good way to, you know, preserve your tomatoes, make sauce, freeze, or if you can just go ahead and do that. Anyway, so I'm done de-seeding the tomatoes and I'm just cutting them up into good sizes that, you know, it will help cook faster. And now I'm going to go ahead and strain the juices from the seeds, just like I told you I was going to do. And this juice is just as filled with nutrition as the fruit itself, the rest of the fruit. And we're definitely not going to let it go to waste. So with the help of this spatula, I'm going to go ahead and stir it so I get the juices out faster. And we'll add this to the vegetables to roast. And this is at least 2 cups. So yeah, we're not going to waste that. So I transfer the tomatoes into the pan with the rest of the ingredients, add my garlic, and now I'm going to just add the basil. I'm just pulling the leaves of these little branches. And yes, I have a lot of basil and I love basil. So I'm going to just go ahead and put a lot of them on here. After all, what is pasta sauce without basil? So let's just get some good basil in here and then we'll proceed. And just look at that. Just beautiful, rich, vibrant colors. And at this point, I'm just going to add some salt. And my black pepper is in the grinder, which was a little tricky for me to do whilst videoing this all by myself. But hey, it has to be made and it will be made. So yeah, it's just black peppercorns. You could use your already ground black pepper, but I like to just grind straight from the grinder because then it's fresher in whatever you're making. And so here we go. And I'm gonna go ahead and add my olive oil and the juices, and then we'll go ahead and mix all this beautiful stuff together. So I'm gonna add the juices first, all that goodness, my olive oil, that is extra virgin olive oil. And now I am just gonna mix everything together with both hands just to get everything well mixed up, well incorporated. And then we're just gonna roast this beautiful, beautiful colors we have here. I love color. I just can't help it. I have to say something. It's just so beautiful. We're definitely going to eat the rainbow. And this, I tell you, even without you seeing the final product, I know you know this is going to be flavor packed. And it's not just flavor packed, it's filled with good fresh ingredients that you just can't get that from, you know, what you buy in the jar. Like really. This is no preservatives, no chemicals, nothing. You're just going to make your own delicious pasta sauce at home and enjoy it. So we're just going to go ahead and put this in the oven. And I preheated that at 450 degrees Fahrenheit. And we are going to cook this in there for an hour and 20 minutes. So an hour and 20 minutes later, just look at this. You know, when I said roasting, this is what I meant. The vegetables are cooked. They are cooked until they are soft and releasing all the juices, and the surface is definitely roasted, and that is what you want. I always like to buy my pasta sauce that is made, you know, like they say, roasted vegetables. So I always like roasted vegetables even when I buy it. So when I'm making it at home, I definitely go ahead and get my vegetables to have a little bit of charring on it so it looks like it's really roasted. And now I'm just transferring this straight into my food processor. And this is a huge, I'm using the big food processor today, so it's going to be able to take the contents of this whole big pan, and I'll go ahead and just blend it. If you make similar quantities, you might, and you have a smaller food processor, you may just have to do it in batches, and that's all. So I've gone ahead and scooped all my tomatoes in here now. And I'm not going to definitely let my juices go to waste. I'm going to go ahead and add some of it in here. So here we go. I'm just adding enough, just enough so that it's not going to be runny and the blending is going to be perfect. So now I'm just blending this in the food processor. So it's not really going to be smoothly blended. And that is how I want mine, with a little bit of chunk to it. So the food processor does a beautiful job at that, and it comes out looking just like how you will have it if you open a jar of tomato sauce. Just look at this. So beautiful, so rich. And now I'm just going to go ahead and add some balsamic vinegar in here. And I added a total of 2 tablespoons, about 2 tablespoons in here. And I'm going to go ahead and just blend a little bit more so everything is well incorporated. And that is it. Not complicated at all. So easy, so simple to make your healthy, delicious homemade pasta sauce. You just can't beat it. You know, when we say homemade because it is full of love, it is full of goodness, it is less chemicals, and just a lot of the stuff that is good for you. So yeah, because I make shito, so it was easy. I already have this funnel here for my jarring or canning. So I just put the funnel on top of my jars, and I'm just going to go ahead, as I'm doing now, to scoop the sauce into the jar. And look at all that beauty. Just look at that, such rich tomato sauce. And this is just perfect. If I put that there, if I had a label to put it on, you wouldn't be the wiser. And how beautiful this is. You could cover this up and gift it out to your friends, and they will love it, especially if the tomatoes came from your garden. Like, what a good way. I love little things like that. So I'm just going to go ahead and transfer everything else. And now I decided just to pour. How easy, how faster. So I just poured it in here. And so in total, I had 2 large jars and a half of the third one. And that is like, 2.5 jars of store-bought pasta sauce. But this is not store-bought. This is healthier, tastier, and just amazing. The taste, you really need to try this to even imagine. So typically when you buy your sauce from the store, this is exactly how it is. And when I buy my sauce from the store, I don't just go ahead and scoop this on my sauce or just put my meatballs in it to serve. I revive it with a little bit of garlic and onions, and sometimes, of course, some fresh basil. So here it is. I cooked some onions and garlic in my pan, and I poured out the contents of 1 jar in here. And now I'm just going to let it cook a little bit. And when it did, I added my meatballs, grated some Parmesan cheese onto it. And that is how I like my sauce. Like, even if the jar says it has Parmesan cheese in it, I still go ahead and add a little bit in there. And that is just a pot full of yumminess that I was about to serve. I really hope you try this recipe. You will love it. When you serve it to somebody, nobody will believe that this is homemade. And just look at this. Just look at that. Such beautiful, rich sauce, and the taste, you just need to try to even understand. And the meatballs, I'm going to share the recipe for that as well. And it was just as good. Just look at this. I really hope you give this a try. And until I come your way next time with something delicious, be loving, be kind, be happy.
Una